I believe that the time is coming for Beam during this bull run. And the reason is because I believe that hypothetically, during this bull run, it could very well go to the price of $1. Now, of course, that's definitely not a guarantee. Also, most definitely, that's not financial advice. But here's the thing. When it comes to Beam, I think it has very special fundamentals. After all, it's an open source blockchain that is specialized for gaming. Now, more specifically, if you take a look at Beam, what is it, very popular for, right? It's something called the Beam SDK, which stands for Software Development Kit. Again, SDK. But even besides that, we take a look at how when it comes to this, right? This allegedly allows game developers to choose from a variety of tools that can be used to feel and structure their in-game blockchain elements. So yeah, when you take a look at that, that's very impressive. Now, some people out there, they like to clown Beam because they're saying, oh wow, it's focused on blockchain gaming. Blockchain gaming disappeared back in 2021. It's no more. But I completely disagree. I think better days are ahead. And also on top of that, if you take a look at the blockchain gaming market, it's just getting started because according to Grandview Research, the blockchain gaming market by 2030 is predicted to be worth over $300 billion. I mean, could you imagine that? That's a massive figure right there. If blockchain gaming was so caca, if it was so trash, this simply wouldn't be a prediction. Because if you take a look at it, blockchain gaming as of right now is still, again, just getting started because if you take a look at it, a lot of blockchain games out there, let's face it, they're just not that good. And it's going to take time in order for it to become better and develop. But I think this is a good thing when it comes to Beam because if anything, they're entering at the perfect time. The way you take a look at Beam is that as if it's like the Amazon of blockchain gaming. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be as big as Amazon, but hear me out here because you take a look at Amazon, launched back in the 90s, right? Do you think that if Jeff Bezos launched Amazon like right now in 2024, would it be a major hit? Would it be a major success? I think highly unlikely. Back then, way less competitors. The market was completely different. As of right now, could you imagine, again, launching Amazon? Oh man, it disappeared off to the abyss. Sometimes getting in early does help. If we take a look at it, a lot of enterprises, usually the ones that enter very early are typically the ones that experience massive success. So if you take a look at Beam, being focused on blockchain gaming, even though the hype really isn't, there, I don't think is a bad thing at all. As of right now, I think a lot of these projects who are ignoring blockchain gaming, I think in some cases they're making a big mistake because, again, this could be massive here, hypothetically, of course. And guess what happens when the wave for blockchain gaming steps in? Something like Beam is going to go along with the ride because it's only fair to assume, right, that one of the best projects out there that's focused on blockchain gaming is going to join that. And I really like that. So that's why, again, I think Beam is basically like Amazon, not in terms of like the growth potential, but I think in terms of, the beginning, the origins, if that makes sense. Get it? Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin. But yeah, besides that point, man, we got to take a look at how Beam is actually very complete overall. We take a look at, for instance, right? It's so diverse. There's something called BeamSwap, a decentralized exchange. And this right here, I think could be massive, because if you take a look at the decentralized finance market, aka the DeFi market, yet again, also according to Grandview Research, by 2030, because they like to predict things, they do predict that the market size will be worth potentially over $200 billion, again, for the DeFi market. So this is insane. So if you take a look at it, DeFi, it's far from over. So BeamSwap, I think, is actually a pretty good idea. Also, on top of that, we take a look at the Beam Layer 0 bridge, a bridging solution to transfer tokens between Beam and other blockchains. This is amazing, in my opinion. Also, on top of that, we take a look at Sphere, an NFT marketplace. Now, people may think, oh, is this a Las Vegas Sphere? Absolutely not. I mean, come on. That's cool, though, but again, this is different. Again, it's an NFT marketplace. Now, NFTs is like one of these topics that people kind of cringe because they're like, oh man, the hype is definitely gone. But no, I disagree because for the third time now, I'm going to reference Grandview Research again. They do predict that, again, by 2030, the NFT market will be worth potentially, right, over $200 billion. So yeah, that's amazing right there. So yeah, when it comes to Sphere, it's not bad. Some people like to say that, oh yeah, it's a waste of resources for any project to launch an NFT marketplace, all this type of stuff. But no, I disagree. I don't know why people keep saying it's caca. But even besides that, we take a look at the Beam OS, a portal for exploring tools and apps on the chain. Yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Not the coolest thing, but even besides that, we also take a look at the Beam Block Explorer, a tracking platform for all Beam transactions and statistics. So yeah, if you take a look at it, Beam, it's very diverse. The way you take a look at Beam, if I were to put an analogy on it, it's as if we made a character in like NBA 2K or like Madden, and then all the stats are like at 85. You know what I mean? Because sometimes we see some characters and then like the speed and like stamina is like 90, but then the strength is like 2. You know what I mean? That's kind of not well balanced. But when it comes to Beam, it's well balanced because you take a look at it. Yes, it's primarily focused on blockchain gaming, I would argue, but it's actually very diverse if you take a look at it as a whole. But even besides that, if we take a look at what sort of launched Beam in the first place, right? What kind of, basically started it? It's actually something called the Merit Circle DAO. Now, you may be thinking, okay, why does this even matter? What is Merit Circle and what is a DAO? Now, here's the thing. I do want to take a look at DAO more specifically because DAO actually stands for Decentralized Autonomous Organization. Now, again, the 3 letters are DAO. But yeah, even besides that point, if we take a look at a DAO, right, it's even been noted that it's actually an entity that is designed to be fully autonomous without a central point of control. So you got to think about that. This right here is very fantastic because oftentimes people take a look at a project and then they look at the team that launched that project and they're like, okay, that's way too centralized. We need, a decentralized aspect to this and whatnot. But what is more decentralized than a DAO, really? I mean, if you take a look at it, this is pretty much almost as decentralized as it gets. So I think this right here is fantastic, especially when it comes to Beam. Now, also not to mention, right, the rules of a DAO are established by a core team of committee members and is executed through smart contracts. So yeah, that's fantastic. And of course, to obtain voting power in a DAO, usually users are supposed to own their governance token. And in this case, anyone who holds Beam can vote. So if you take a look at Beam, it's very fantastic. It has that DAO aspect, so to speak, through Merit Circle DAO. And also on top of that, very well-balanced project. I mean, this right here is pretty much as good as it gets, hypothetically speaking, in my opinion. And it's not like Beam is this, dinosaur that's caca or something like that. No, fundamentals are amazing. And I think that it has a bright future ahead because after all, it's focused on the right markets. And fundamentally, it's fantastic. Is it the most flashy project out there? Is it the coolest project out there? I would say no, personally, in my opinion. But does it really matter? I think sometimes there's beauty in simplicity because if you take a look at it, some other projects out there, they have random knickknacks on their ecosystem that doesn't even make sense. It's like, who cares about that, to be honest? But this one, actually, if you take a look at it, it's focused on the right things. So yeah, I think it's very simple, relatively speaking, and I actually love that when it comes to Beam. Not to mention, a lot of the times people think that the bull run's over, that there's never going to be another peak, for instance, when it comes to Bitcoin. But I disagree because I do believe that Bitcoin, even though it did break an all-time high this year, and then, of course, it's having a big pullback, I think better days are ahead because in 2025, Bitcoin reaching the price of $100,000, let's say $150,000, that right there wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. I mean, first of all, you take a look at the Bitcoin ETF, that's massive. You consider how there's over 600 million crypto owners, according to Crypto.com research, which is more than ever before in history. So that's amazing. Also, you take a look at the Ethereum ETF. I mean, these are all fantastic factors right here that I think could very well allow this bull run to have such an amazing top, so to speak, right? And I think as Bitcoin, again, does reach those great heights, altcoins, I think naturally, at least the good ones are going to follow. And I think something like Beam is going to hypothetically go along with the ride and hypothetically, again, go to the price of $1. Now, why do I think $1 isn't crazy? It's because if it were to go to the price of $1, considering current circulating supply, at that point, market cap would be around $50 billion. Now I get it, it's around a 60x from here. Some people think it's caca, but I don't think it's bad because the first point I want to address is, again, the market cap of around, $50 billion. It's not too crazy. We've seen Dogecoin reach over $80 billion in market cap. So it's not like I'm talking about some random crazy nonsense figure here. Also, on top of that, we've seen BNB reach over $100 billion in market cap. So yeah, this is not crazy at all. Also, on top of that, we've seen Shiba Inu reach around $40 billion. So yeah, again, I don't think this is as insane as what some people may say. And second of all, the way I take a look at it is that Beam, in a sense, kind of has like meme coin level potential, but then at the same time, it's not a meme coin. This is how amazing it is. Because typically, when people are looking for like over a 50x, you know what I mean? They typically look at meme coins, right? Because they're like, okay, it's low. They think that, okay, there's potential there. But then the crazy thing about Beam is that it has like meme coin again level type of potential, like hypothetically over 50x. But then at the same time, it's an amazing project. It's not a meme coin. So this is what really interests me when it comes to Beam. Potential feels like a meme coin, but fundamentals feels like it's one of the best out there. Now, of course, these are all hypothetical scenarios. There's no guarantee. No one has to listen to what I'm saying quite essentially. But here's the thing. the way I view it is that Beam is special in this sense, which is why I really do believe in it. I mean, think about this, right? Historically speaking, as a worst case scenario, altcoins, they've been known to peak around a year and a half after a Bitcoin halving event. Now, based off of the last Bitcoin halving event, which happened back in April, that would actually mean worst case, again, historically speaking, around October of next year. So it's not so bad. Granted, it could happen a lot sooner. We just never know. But, even as a worst case, again, just a year basically from right now, it doesn't seem too caca, if that makes sense. Not to mention, this actually suits my strategy because my strategy, after all, is dollar cost averaging. So anytime an income, I'm acquiring, I'm holding, and I'm just waiting. That's it. I am not day trading. I'm not using leverage. I'm not swing trading. I'm not doing any of that type of stuff whatsoever. So anytime I earn income, I'm acquiring Beam, I'm holding, and I'm just waiting. Literally, that's it. It's so simple because I think around a year from right now, things could look so different. And I really can't wait. Beam again at the price of $1 during this bull run. That wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. I think this bull run could be that fantastic. And I think Beam is that amazing. And by the way, if you want to know my exit strategy when it comes to Beam, also on top of that, if you want to know other projects that I'm holding in my portfolio, and if you want me to review your portfolio, feel free to join the Discord. The link is in the description below if you want to. And also on top of that, feel free to become a channel member. As of right now, I'm getting a lot of comments and I would like to reply to every single one of them. At least I try to, right? But then it's becoming increasingly difficult. So if you actually want me to respond to your comments, becoming a member, I think, is a great idea because it highlights the username and then I can know that, hey, I should respond to this one and I can prioritize that response. Again, if you want to. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's been Lee the Captain, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.